Okay, so how to draw motorcycles, like a dynamic and then a curved perspective, like, you know, kind of like Akira. So here I take some example. Let's see, some pages from Akira manga, so we can look some distinct features. So most of designs in Akira, we can see they're like more simplified than real motorcycles. Like we don't have mirrors, like you see it's kind of more simple handlebars. Sometimes it's just some kind of stick and hand holding the stick. So it's very much simplified. So then these things on wheels probably is like electric engine, you know, like attached to wheel, because it's also don't have exhaust pipe. There's some kind of weird stuff here, so it seems might be like electric engine directly on the wheels, like this one. So seems it's electric engine. No pipes. This one is like a fancy front suspension system. Just forget how it's called. I have tutorial about this, how to draw this thing. It's very cool. Так. This one. So this one here again, yeah, is this one old style front fork, which is also kind of simplified here a little bit. And this one is like drum brake. So yeah, so here this one have engine, so it's like piston here, exhaust pipe. Yeah. So this one is more like retro motorcycle in this Akira world. So yeah, so most of them, they don't have mirrors, maybe because they're like punks on the motorcycle, so they don't look in the mirrors. So let's draw something like this. Так. So in the previous tutorials I was already show how to draw motorcycle, like more static, like what's construction of motorcycle. You can look at these tutorials, so they're very helpful, very useful. It's to learn motorcycle frames, then you need to practice how to draw wheels, because it's like just drawing wheels itself, it will be like destroy your drawing process of motorcycle, you know. So it's like you think like, oh, how to draw motorcycle, but then most of your problem with motorcycle is just you spend too much effort on make sure wheel look properly, you know, because you don't practice ellipses, and it's like destroying you. Just make ellipses in perspective. Hello digital scribe, hello Cobra Viper. So here we have this fisheye perspective grid. Also watch my tutorials about fisheye perspective. There will be in these tutorials it's very detailed and complete explanation. Also there's like tutorials with examples from other artists like Amao and Ryan Berry. So then we have vertical. Let's do it here. This Y vanishing point. Hello, Victor. Okay, so here we have this grid, HI, and then like with all these different aspects of drawing motorcycles, they're all helpful, they're all useful, but then it's like how you approach in the actual work, like when you want to draw motorcycle for your illustration and stuff. You might use like more simple approach. So let's say like I want just drop some kind of Vogue shape of front wheel, then I think like okay, where might be like rear wheel, maybe somewhere here. Then okay, how motorcycle body, this like frame with a engine with a fuel tank, like how it's related. So I say somewhere here, like this kind of proportion according to this this two wheels, right? And then I can like put them into boxes if I want to check to make sure they're like properly in perspective. So I say okay, this will be like front wheel in a box. Some kind of this. Then let's go to the vanishing point here. We have rear wheel. So, like rear wheel usually is like more wide, front wheel more narrow, and rear wheel more thick, more wide. And then we have like here, like usually it's like brake disc on the modern motorcycles, but it's also can be like a brake drum like this. So and then I look like for front fork attached to motorcycle body. Right, so let's say kind of this. Can give it some perspective too. Then okay, I can make like this motorcycle body, make it more three-dimensional. So then we have kind of this like fuel tank. Then I look where will be my driver's seat. Maybe like this here. Then for rear wheel we have rear fork, and then I look like okay, where I want to be like feet rest, like maybe like here, right? So where it's like a driver will rest his feet, because driver he have like three contact points, which I talked on a previous tutorial about motorcycle, like how to draw people on motorcycle, how to draw rider and passenger, right? So they will have this kind of three contact points is handlebars, foot rest, and sit, right? So when you draw figure on a motorcycle, is you replace kind of this body, like its pelvis with a rib cage, so this kind of torso, and then you have, like with this sequence, it's more most convenient, I think. It's like this torso, hands on handlebar, and here you can put like will be like feet on footrest, right? And then you make you can make just straight lines just to create this like a surface, like a direction, because then you can make according to this direction, you can bend your limbs like this. So it's really kind of convenient way, which I find just for myself. So if you have if you're not sure with placement of arm and leg, you can just make straight line, and then you can find like how elbows and knees, how they will like far from this straight line, because like say how it works. Let's how to show it. Because okay, like if I have figure, let's say like I have this body with a head, right? So it's like again, this body is like rib cage with a pelvis, kind of, right? So, and here I have handlebar, and here I have footrest. So it's like my motorcycle here. I can start to draw like legs, and then I put feet here, but it might be like not so obvious. Might be like very hard to estimate like what is for shortening for it, like how to make it properly, and like how where's hand is like go like this or go like that. It can be confusing, right? So to deal with that, you can create direction. So it's something like create this plan, right? Like we have surface now, we have this surface, and here same with the footrest, like between this body and footrest you just create kind of this surface, and now we can use this surface to find these points for elbows. It can go here or goes there. So now we have like this clear geometry. You see, right? Write me in the comment. Yeah, was there? So now it's like this geometry, right? How it works. It's like we have this surface, and now we can do this third point, like 2 point and a third point. Is this third point, it will be like another surface. This is not necessary to be parallel, like it can be parallel like this. So it's like he's like spreading his knee, right? Or it's not necessary to be parallel, but still you have better idea what happening, right? Because you are making these knee points according to this surface. So it just will give you like better idea of a space. Same here, we have like handlebar, so like, oh, this handlebar so close, like his hands here, right, and the shoulder here. So we have kind of idea of a space, right, like how far this handlebar from elbows, from shoulders. So like, oh, it's so weird, it's like, why it's so close? And you see like I have so short space, like it's so close to his shoulders, and I have like long hands. Like how should I place these legs, right? So we have 2 points, and now we need to find third point, like in the geometry, right? Like we have X, and you say like, oh, you can make this third point like low here or here. So with this sequence, then you can put this point in perspective, right? Parallel to this shoulder line. And you see like, okay, maybe about here it will be in this side. So you just make it more convenient for yourself with this approach. If it's not clear, tell me, I will show again. But again, is if you have doesn't practice before, of course this will be difficult, and it's first of all because you have not enough practice over basics. So here we kind of have this guy, right? So here can be like front light, and we can make it more advanced. We can put mirrors, like, we have a mirror now, and maybe like more lamps will be like 3 front light, and here like speedometer. So you can do whatever with this, you know. You can, like, I can spend like 1 hour, 2 hour just to like developing all these details. What is really most important is to create this main frame for motorcycle, and like this is most hard part, like how to find these elements in perspective. Hello James, thank you. So let's say here, like I previously did, let's do again this, like let's say we have again here this line, but then maybe we want to make a second motorcycle like riding, like wheeling, right? So instead of having vanishing point here, it will have vanishing point here. So we have like front wheel here, rear wheel here. So he's like riding a rear wheel, and we have this body here. Same again, I just start to add perspective to it. And now, like, who people like might before, like, I mean, people who really want to learn how to draw motorcycle, not just watch how I draw, which is fine. Like, thank you who watching my videos, really appreciate. But if you want to learn motorcycle, now you see why I have all this long video before explaining all these nuances, because if you don't watch my previous videos, I guess you might have a lot of question now, like what kind of, how am I doing that, let's say. And the previous video is they all explaining like how to draw motorcycles, because you need to know motorcycle like proportions, you need to know like these main elements of motorcycle. Okay, kind of this. Let's say here he only right hand he hold handlebar, left hand he's like yay. So we still have space, maybe draw here is less complicated, but let's just, for example, make bike here. again. Just, you see any shape, you can like, let's say like, okay, here will be body, motorcycle body. Then I need for this thing, I need to find forks, like front fork, rear fork. It can be this like a double, forget how's this name of this fork, always forget names during video. Так. So here we have dude. Then we can do like this, like straight line. Then I find elbow, head here, and maybe here he have like girlfriend, like sit behind him and she have helmet. Kind of. Okay, and let's her boyfriend will have helmet too. Because I don't know. They're more like care themselves. And here, let's say, will be like guard here, so it's like a shield. Here, and here will be like this footrest for driver. Kind of this. So you see, it's kind of like really like whole point is you go here doing this practice I show you in the previous videos, and then you go here and it's on this stage it's kind of pretty much feels like if I like when I draw in the childhood, you know, kind of motorcycle. I forget already. Let's say I trying to like just two-dimensional kind of, right? It's like yeah, and here we have this guy, so like this, yeah, he have a cowboy hat. So it feels like you drawing like flat childish picture, you know. So this kind of whole point of that. When you understand how space work, how can you draw objects in a space, then drawing like complex 3D illustration feels like drawing this like when you've been like back in your childhood, you know, just doodling like this, like kind of just having like fun, you know, just totally in the zone without any hesitation, without the stress, without confusion, because you know what you're doing. It's important. You know, and you did it many times, kind of. And if it's just like hard for you, it means just you, or you don't understand something, or you don't have enough practice. So you will able to draw this Akira stuff if you watch my tutorials. Watch all them. Yeah. Yeah, so and you can just keep adding, here the stuff, and let's say, and it will more and more will look more like crazy and dynamic, like you know, like if I draw now, I draw for video, right? But if I draw for myself, I will like listen Manavar something, you know, it's just enjoy it. It's like a wild process here, just drawing bikes, and it's like yeah. Let's put some graffiti here, like cyberpunk background. So, like long time ago in art college, I've been reading book about like theory of composition and stuff, and it's very interesting thing he say in this book. They say it's like in education, like we have, like music education, for example. Um, Music education, like, is very well aligned with science. So when like science were improved all these years, from 19th century or stuff, so all discoveries kind of a brain or like physics being implemented into music theory. So all this kind of composition, music theory, all this stuff is based on the science. So it's like very advanced, very improved. But visual art education, it's like almost nothing changed. They like keep teaching like based on a theory from, I don't know, like from like Renaissance stuff like that, so and here let's do now like tilted horizon line. So actually we can try to do this, we can try to align, and there is like, of course, like in the storytelling also we can see people like aligning science theory with storytelling, like I don't know, it's more like this like a literature theory, right, with anthropology and stuff like that. So they kind of implement this, but also I think we can try kind of do same with visual art, and kind of, let's say, what I can say from my experience, from my observation. First of all, let's stop making this dumb and like a kind of weird distinction and separation of art from other disciplines, other crafts, and other art. So let's say you have martial art, you have like sport, right, you have dancing, piano, playing piano, kind of, right? They all have same quality, they have all same features. It's about creating, kind of developing neural network and the muscle memory. So when we, let's say, like compare like drawing process, like when you create, right, creative process, when you make your illustration or you make your comic book page or develop your character, it's like a field situation, right? It's like if you're like military, you kind of deploy in a war zone, it's like right in a battle, kind of, right? So it's your actual battle as artist. It's your, like, if you're boxer, it's your fight now, right? You're on a ring, so you're creating illustration. This is your creative process, and this is, is kind of like in boxing or in military or dancing and the stuff, you need to prepare yourself for this situation. So to be kind of ready and well trained for this, to make sure you can kind of handle it, you can operate in this situation, and you have control over it, right? And this preparation is called like routine training. This routine training idea is develop your neural network and muscle memory, or we can call it intuition, right? So you practice perspective grids, you practice drawing stuff like 3D objects in perspective, proportions, all the stuff. You practice all the stuff to develop neural network and muscle memory. So this became your intuition. You create your intuition. You create this kind of your feeling of what is right, what is wrong, like how to do stuff. It became your feeling, right? And of course, for all these people, like illiterate people who have no idea what it's about, they will look at it and they will take it like you're born with that, you know. It's like, yeah, we look everybody who driving cars, like, and we say like, wow, how you do? You just sit and turn and wheel, and you're not sweating like all the time, like you can talk and joking kind of. So you must be born in a car, kind of with the wheel in your hands, kind of, right? No, same is like you've been practicing. So when you understand what I'm talking about, right? When you have these ideas, like, yeah, visual art is no different from all this stuff. It's same. So now you need to act on it, right? Take it approach. So now you start to take this routine practice seriously. And you can look, say like, hey, if I don't have this practice, so I should not expect I will be better in art, and I should not expect like somehow it's some better vision or better intuition, better quality kind of in my work will appear from somewhere. It will never appear from somewhere. It's always like appear like following certain kind of natural laws. So this kind of mechanic, right? So even if you, depending on how you contribute to it, so and you can contribute to it like very being like conscious and aware. And this kind of like this channel is about like showing you how it works and what you should develop. So let's see. Okay, so let's see here. We have this like front wheel. Again, it's like more. I more like just, let's say, just walk, right? Like blah 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 blah, and here say like blah blah blah, like a body here, and here some rear wheel, right? And then I can start to more emphasize. So I say like will be like more like construction of actual wheel. Then have like say kind of this. Because like, you know, you see all this like so many teachers kind of and stuff, when they don't really actually talking about this, and it seems they not really understand this stuff this way, which is ridiculous. It's just not serious. Так. So here will be this like BMW twin engine kind of this. My favorite, looks so cool. Here we have full tank. Then here we have, so here's carburetor, then it's frame, then here rear fork, rear wheel, driver's seat, front fork. Let's maybe this time do like this, like 2 front lights. And here maybe it can be like this speedometer, tachometer. Then this kind of this. So here will be his hands and let's say I don't know, let's try like he put his feet on a piston here on this engine. So here is a body, head, and again like shoulder, right? We have the shoulder points, we have wheel, handlebar here. So it just makes straight line from shoulders to handlebar. And I see, you know, it's like geometry, right? So we have shoulders, handlebar, straight line. Then here we have like, I imagine like his hand, right? So is this how, what is his range of hand? Like I can imagine it, I can see it, right? According to his torso and his legs. And I see this space here, X length and Y length, this one, right? And I see X is definitely shorter than Y, X smaller than Y. And the question is like, X, like how much is shorter? So I don't know, let's just like eyeballing it, right, to make it easier to like, let's say maybe it's like this, right? You just my point here is just like I explained before, it just helps you to see relativity, helps you to see space. Okay, now we have hands. Here we can like exhaust pipes. Okay, here will be rear exhaust like this. Also can draw turn signals, turn lights, and can do like mud guard. So yeah, again, let's notice like in Akira, he kind of even skipped drawing mud guard. So it's here, you know, this kind of thing. You not only look as a observer, like a viewer, and like, oh yeah, it's so cool, it's amazing, it's insane. But also, actually, as an artist, as professional, right? You need to analyze. You look, you see, like, hey, here's no mud guard, and I must say, I almost sure he just say like, I hate to draw this shit, because like draw mud guard in perspective, it's real pain. So he say like, okay, let's just avoid this. I hate to draw mud guards, so I just don't draw them. Same with mirrors, like say like, who needs these mirrors? Like, why? This is my comic book. I don't need to draw all these freaking mirrors. So, and this like really like speed up process a lot, like skipping all these mirrors, because like it save you hour maybe, or like on this page like, so no, 30 minutes for sure, like you do. And mud guards really like save you 1 hour, that's for sure. Just imagine like put mud guard for each motorcycle here, it's like from each perspective, it's like it's crazy. So he just said like, I don't need this. No, I'm talking now also about like engine, and like if you will start to look detail, you see like when you take like actual reference of actual motorcycle and like take photo here of actual motorcycle, which this can be, I don't know what, some kind of like standard chopper or something, right? And you will see like how much more details in actual motorcycles, and how much simplifications, like deduction, happen here. It's like, yeah, so I already mentioned here is no mudguard, there's no mirrors, it's no cables. Like if me, like I will draw like cables like for brake disc, and so some kind of cables for level, forget all this, like this, like for rear brake and stuff. But you say like, oh, I don't want to draw this like too much details, so you kind of make creative decisions how to avoid and deduct unnecessary stuff, right? Which is really important to learn and observe from other artists. It's like what is fine to avoid. So it's not like crucial. Because like I'm sure, like I almost sure, like for all of us, like this motorcycles drawing in Akira, they just look like a pinnacle, kind of like a paragon, right? It's like, oh, it's like a best motorcycle drawings in the manga, stuff like that. But if you look detailedly, you see like, oh, okay, it's like, it's actually not so like not so much detailed as you perceive. It's very simplified motorcycles. So let's do, maybe make it more foreshortened. So so here's like footrest. Here will be like engine. And so here's like handlebar. So it's like hand. I need to learn these lyrics and play on acoustic guitar. So ZZ Top for recreation. Dun, 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 dun. Some kind of here. Yeah, so and let's say some kind of cables. Same, let's do some environment here. Maybe it's like we have two streets, so one street going here. It's like you see after like even if you look like how many video I did with a demonstration of drawing environments in perspective, even this videos, like it's kind of enough practice for just to get this like casual skill of drawing environment in a perspective, in fish eye or many other kind of perspective type. So maybe here will be like some truck, hello Derek. Yeah, that's why I really like, you know, you can see let's for example, you can see Ghost in a Shell by Masamune Shirow manga, right? And then there is some other Ghost in a Shell manga by other artist. I forget his name, but it's really interesting to see. It's like this other artist, he making like very detailed drawings, and like it's like they're very skillful. It's like so many, like, you know, you need to draw all these people or these details, clothes and stuff. But you can see it's like so much worse. It just feels so much worse than Masamune Shirow. And like if again you put them together, you see like Masamune Shirow drawings, actually they're much like, they're like cartoony compared to this style. This like looks like almost like photorealistic, and this is a problem because it's too many details and too little creative choices. It's too little like artist's voice in it, right? And like for me personally, I find like I really more interest in kind of this creative momentum in the artist's work. I more like to see like artist interpretation than realism in the work. It's like it should be like maybe like realistic proportions, maybe, or maybe it's like should be some realistic elements which make it feel like it's like a, you know, like texture, or to show like you know what you're doing. Like, so there's like, if there's a gun, like a Toriyama, for example, right? Like he drawing this like cartoony characters, simplified, stylized, everything. But motorcycle look like motorcycle. It have engine, it have all this like different materials, metal, rubber, like all this stuff. It's very kind of clever work. So you can see this like creative decision instead of just like showing off your skills, your ability to draw realistic picture, kind of. Because really, it's like, like what is your goal in your work? You want to show people you know anatomy, or you want to impress them with your narrative, with your visual storytelling. And this like also what you can see in the comments, because like I don't like to have this feedback from viewers when they say like, wow, you making do you use ruler? Like, can you drawing without ruler? Like, how can you draw perspective so well and stuff like that? It's kind of, it means like it's lack of something really interesting in your work. So people appreciate your work only for your skill instead of some like creative quality of it. So and again, like at the same time, also you can see so many artists with pretty low skill, like early Tsutomu Nihei. If you watch like first chapters of Blame, it's not so good, it's like so. He just very he has this like very cool creative ideas, but his like technique was so like average in the beginning. Not even like average, but it's kind of beginner level. Okay, let's just have fun with that. Oh, I start to make double one. Okay. Forget how this. It's like Springer fork, I think it's called. This kind of. A little forget the structure, so I'll draw like a funny way. So here also like drum break. So here I have like kind of shield. Then maybe here make like radiator, oil cooler. Hello, JJ Slays. I mean, like how long I've been drawing in my life. I don't know, like all life. Like since like since I even don't remember myself, I've been drawing. Like my parents tell me like I've been drawing stuff. But if it's more question about like, is it too late for me, like at certain age to start drawing? Like, you don't need to be talented to become good artist. You better be smart, because anybody can learn to draw and to make like really good work. It's just about your general ability to learn and kind of work ethic, so you can like you have this kind of discipline and a consistent approach. No, also it's like you need to be I don't know how to say this. Like you need to be honest, kind of. You need to be honest to yourself, like to see like about your level, like how good you are. It should be not about like feeling like you're a good artist. It should about aiming for a good result. So like at certain point, like you don't care what people think about your work, because you know better than viewer like what is good work. So you kind of expert, right? It's like if you're a doctor, you don't need to ask your patient about like should you like is he healthy or not, kind of like. No, again, like forgive me if you're a doctor and I talking nonsense, but my point is kind of here, if is your kind of expertise, right? So you need to give you should to have kind of view of what is happening here. And amateur view is like it don't give you much real information. So at certain point you don't care about opinion of viewers, and you don't care about like perceiving as a like a good artist or whatever, you know. You just really care about making cool work, and you're constantly and honestly criticize kind of your quality of your work, and you're working on improvement. So just kind of with this approach, no matter like what age you are, you just doing your work and you became better repo. Yeah, I've been kind of for my book I've been drawing a lot of type of forks, but it was like half a year ago and I already forget how to draw these fancy forks. I need to kind of refresh my memory. I will go again. Next time I will open my own reference to check structure, because like in the moment I forget. There was like many very cool forks, like you know, this Springer fork, then what was her name? Gruber system was like, oh yes, so cool. You know, when there's like this like rear fork but in front. Kind of like really sophisticated but fun to draw. And also adult people, they learn faster than children. It's kind of also it's a big difference between physical education, like, you know, like a sport or dance, or even like piano. Playing piano is kind of okay for children. They can really like learn from early age. But drawing is involve, you know, this perspective, anatomy, so it's like it's actually a lot of theory. So if you were like 30-year-old, no, I mean if you're not alcoholic, kind of, if you're like some already some kind of, let's say, professional in some field, right? So you will have this like complex brain, you will have a lot like this sophisticated neural network, so it will be much easier for you to learn some another skill. You will faster grasp all this concept of perspective and composition, anatomy, you know, faster than children. So, and I've been teaching like adult people and like really learn very fast. So like when you ask like other people like how long they draw, I mean it's really, it's give you nothing. Like you don't have any useful information from this question. For you it's not useful information for sure, because it's like personal. Somebody just you might be like smarter than most of people, you know, and like other artists, like you ask, maybe he's just not very smart and he's like like me, just spent so many years to learn stuff, you know, but you might learn it very fast. So it's a lot of variables involved. Like somebody have like better memory, you know, like for me it's like I still kind of struggle with anatomy. I cannot like remember raw theory. It's always should be kind of like aligned with kind of, I don't know, like with a practical practice. Practical practice. So I need kind of experience theory, so I will remember it. Like, you know, I cannot just like read text and remember like this like a history, for example. When teacher teach you history and it's all about some kind of name of some people who you never seen in a real life. You know, it's like they tell like long time ago there was this kind of dude in some country you never been, and this they give you dates, they tell you about events on a certain dates, and there was like 255 people and family name blah 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 and this name and this name. It's like, how should I remember all this stuff? I have no idea who these people. I never been this place. So for me more convenient when I go to actual place, and I say like, okay, now I see what is about, and I go to Google, I go to lectures, and I start to like learn history and all this kind of details about this place. So it's a problem. It's a problem, like it's hard to learn anatomy like when you cannot memorize theory. But some people, they're like this, they remember theory very fast. So let's make just wheel from here will be better. Here. So it's like Marlboro and Harley Davidson. Dun, 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 dun. And you kind of look into this, listen to this stuff, and you can think, this is all madness. It's a madness. And I will say,
madness. This is Jane Bond art.
this is Jinbone art. Так. So you can support my channel, become member. There's just like, you know, like one coffee in a month, and you will have access to my Discord channel, and there's some kind of links, some chat. I share some stuff I find, like I have some pure ref with a reference about cyberpunk and stuff. Also, you can show your works, like show your homework, and ask feedback, ask questions about perspective. In Discord. Or also you can be my member on Patreon. So let's make here like police car. Also, if you're a patron, also you will have access to Discord. Так. So let's do some. Maybe can do like billboard, maybe door here. Just kind of, you know, doodling from imagination, whatever I can put here in perspective. So this kind of like more advanced type of perspective practice, perspective training. You know, so you like you kind of like make it fun for yourself. It's not just drawing box, it's not just drawing grids, it's also about like exploring and trying already draw some actual scene. So it's in one hand it's less stressful because I don't have pressure of making final work. I kind of still treat it as an exercise. And on the other hand, I already start to practice doing something like more than just boxes. It's already like characters, it's already like look some kind of frame from comic book. But still I consider it's like it's in this frame in as a training, right? Like I say, we have boxing, so you go to gym like regular, like a routine training. You need to jump, you need to work on a punch bag, running and stuff like that. So same, you need to like every day you need to draw something like with a perspective, draw some .3D kind of forms. Let's make here some fancy, like Akira will be. This, I don't know, just made up some funny lights. And then here we have speedometer and tachometer. This thing. You can do like this, like smoke or dust. Like, so also notice kind of like when I start from perspective grid, notice how much it depends on the perspective grid itself. So it's like grid itself suggests you and like what kind of motorcycle you can draw, because you know, I can only draw like detailed front plane motorcycle only in this place here. If it's like come from here to here, right, it can be here or it can be there, like this way or this way. All other places it's like I need to draw smaller, or it will be like this one, almost like front view. So I have like a 3 option for this perspective grid: draw motorcycle here, draw motorcycle here, or like kind of, you know, here it will be like front view almost like this, and third option is side view, like motorcycle here. So when you also kind of thinking about like how to draw certain view, it's also depends on a perspective grid a lot. So you can look what perspective grid is used for this particular view. Ninjak is I don't know. I think it's like a CD marker. You know, like before we have these markers to sign your CDs. It's called like twin marker, some Chinese brand. Yeah, let's like, yeah, I need to make intro kind of. So you call me crazy. You think is too much to learn, and you think it's wild madness.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Yes. We all crazy here. We are really love to draw. So let's see. Yeah, I have some ideas for more clips. we'll do when I have time. Pigma. Yeah, I don't remember about Pigma. Yeah, all you can use also like this pentel brush pen. It's called it's all kind of personal, you know, like you can see Ryan Berry, he always used brush pens, even like when he draw his like sophisticated cyberpunk. For me it's like little crazy. It's like, oh my god, how he can do it, because like, you know, brush pen is like you always need to control this thickness. Is so annoying. But there is similar like this Faber-Castell. They have I forget how it's called. You don't need this like a second side. It's not necessary. Totally no need. But they have like Faber-Castell with this kind of marker kind of nib, and the Faber-Castell is really feels good. It's like, it's not like a soft nib. It's like a, you know, like usual markers, like solid nib here. I will do video. I just got idea this morning. I will do video about different materials and like different pens, and I will show different artists who best with these tools, best with these markers. So it's like, you know, like a brush pens. It's Kim Jong-gi and Ryan Berry. It's like from my taste, right? Like and they're masters, right? So they're best, and definitely it's kind of their favorite tool. Then for Copic markers, for example, Copic markers, it's like I like most artist who is artist of Death Note. I forget his name. I will Google again. So he's like official, official artist of a Copic. Oh, I forget, like ambassador of Copic markers, right? And he doing this, like if you see an illustration of Death Note, like he has this color pages, like color posters. Maybe it's like covers for Death Note. They done with a Copic. They look so cool. And some other artists, they have their favorite tools. So I want to make video about this kind of, because, you know, it's really interesting moment here, because we have sometimes this conversation about, is this important, what kind of tool you use, or is not important. And I think actually it's important. Actually it's important. It's like it might be, it's not like you are looking for your favorite pen which you will use all your life, right? You might have like favorite material on different periods in your life, but it's kind of also we always have these favorite materials, because like enjoying texture, enjoying this like ink flow or feeling of your tool is really important. It's also part of your joy. It helps you to get into zone, you know. Like for me, if I like when I draw, if I don't like feeling of a tool, I just cannot get in a zone. I just feel constantly like, you know, distracted and annoyed. It's like oh, why is that? Like a drawing with a dry marker, you know. Like I want to have like a solid line, but instead it's like dry. It's like so annoying, and you like need to scratch this. It's like I hate this. So that's why it's also important is to buy high quality materials. So don't think it's like you can draw with any crappy cheap material. It's always better use high quality materials. Yeah, Takeshi Obata, I think. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, Derek, really, you're a fan now of my video art. Yeah, we'll do more. We'll do more. I have some funny ideas. Will be more videos. Yeah, because somehow it's like it's this memes is important for internet, right? We like to have this like catchy memes. Oh, cool. Oh, hello, Rachacher. Cool, thank you. I will check what is Yamaha Air to see. Interesting ones. Felt deep fiber castels. Maybe, yeah. Maybe, you know, it's just kind of this typical marker nib. Like in high school markers, kind of. So it's just important, this Faber-Castell marker, he is a waterproof, so you can make ink or watercolor above. So let's try some ink. So here is also my cheap substitution for Copic markers. So I just dilute ink with water. So I can do this quick shading. It's also called Notan. Wait a second, Notan what? Notan studies. Like so, Notan is when you're just making this shapes, like a value shapes. They can be black or can be gray. And it's like very good in practice to be more efficient with the shading instead of always trying to make this kind of perfect sophisticated shading. You practice how to be concise and use shading shapes as a creative tool instead of, you know, not just trying to make realistic shading. Is kind of bad task. It's no good task. You don't never aim for realism. You better aim for certain like effect, like you making effects. So you want it to feels like it's a massive object, like moving towards you, right? So it's like it's more than realism. It's like virtual reality, kind of. Cause like, I was also recently, I realized, like I have in the childhood, I've been like first time I discover comic books, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. It feels like absolutely real stuff, it feels like these characters, they alive, they living in some kind of parallel universe, and I was like 100% sure they're real. It's just like I was like don't know how it's possible, like how it works, but it was like wow, definitely they're real, they exist. And this kind of was my first kind of meeting with this medium, with comic books. It was just they look for me like before I always seen, of course, like other comic books, not American. I seen like some kind of crappy Soviet Union comic books and some book illustrations and stuff. And you kind of look at them, yeah, it's some kind of drawing in a book. It's some artist draw it, right? But these comic books I've seen is like, wow, it just look like a gate kind of to another dimensions. It's not just drawings. It's been like a portal kind of. And and this kind of give me this idea is really important. Like for you can think differently about what you're doing. And recently I was remember this recently again, and I think like kind of, yeah, is this what this writer was talking about? How it's called? Robert McKee. Robert McKee. He have a book called Story. He also in a movie with Nicolas Cage called Adaptation. You can watch this funny movie, very cool. So they have like Robert McKee. So and Robert McKee, he was talking in some interview. He say, story is like people ask him like, do you think good story is always based on reality, and it's like so real world is always more complex and more interesting than fictional story, right? And he say no. He say totally, absolutely no. He say like fictional story much more complex and rich and original than reality. And now I understand what he talking. Like he was actually mean this thing. It's like it's something like about meta modern. It's about what is story and narrative itself. So maybe we can say like our perception of a world, like our worldview, our kind of this narrating of our reality, right? Maybe this came from fiction. Maybe it was this kind of like a portal through which this idea of reality being kind of breach into our world. So we start kind of like, oh, so I am kind of Mickey Mouse and you're kind of Goofy and stuff stuff like that, like we're it's some kind of like a in this sense, kind of, right? Because like maybe like this like material world is this kind of particles flying around, but then we have this like a narrative came and bring meaning and sense to everything. Yeah, definitely you need to read this book just for kind of if you want to write stories. I think it's just good material. So yeah, if talk about this ink, I will show you. So I have this like just any Chinese ink, like I don't know, just any ink from art shop, right? It's not waterproof even, I think. And then I have like this is just for convenience. So I take like very little ink from bottle, just very little, and then I suck in this water from sink, right? And then this thing is very cheap brush you buy in art shop, so you just put of this water with ink. So, and I don't have like precise measurement, I just doing it eyeballing kind of how much ink and water here. So no, in this kind of what I'm talking is more like Robert McKee. He don't talking about this kind of philosophy much in his book. In his book about story, he's talking more like practical stuff about story structure, how to, you know, how to let's say. Like how to properly build arc plot, like classical kind of story with emotional and meaningful narrative. But this what I talking, I think about like literature theory is more about. It's like philosophy, it's literature theory, and it's like crazy complicated. I just watched couple lectures. It's really hard. It's make you to sleep, you know, work like if you can't sleep, try to watch this in the night. You will sleep very fast. Very hard stuff. Okay, anyway, some kind of this. So let's do two more. No, I try calligraphy pens. I mean, this like with a flat nib, but it's, no, I'm not much into fancy stuff. So let's do some other. Let's do like this time. Maybe it's this way. Oh, I use other pen. So again, so this is our tilted horizon line. Here is like Y vanishing point for vertical lines. And Y axis will go this way. And then let's see what, let's go kind of this X. So also after you do a lot perspective grids, you can start to draw them very sloppy, because you kind of feel this confidence. You don't worry to make it sloppy, you don't worry to make it a little skew, distorted. This is benefit of kind of having many practice, to be master kind of craft, right? So it start to look like you're doing loose thing, but this looseness is under your control. You make it by the choice. You say like, yeah, I just want to fool around. Так, let's say here. So has this motorcycle here. Has this motorcycle here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So has this kind of chopper. And you see like how much work already done on the stage of this kind of penciling general structure. So then when you make a line art, it just became just matter of time. It's not much hard anymore. It's just more like about kind of concentrated on this fine details. So here we have gas tank. Here we have heat. So again we have torso. And here, let's make a straight line first, and I say, oh, I want to make it little like this, little elbow. Then we have head here. Same leg. Let's just try it first, and then I say like, oh, I want it maybe a little like this. So here will be knee, here will be leg, feet. So then maybe this I more squeeze this wheel so it's look more properly. Here, and maybe let's some say, yeah, let's go. This is madness. Yeah, scooter, I will do another video about scooters, because like, yeah, I can like draw some this kind of lazy ass scooters like everybody draw, but I want to make a tutorial with really refined features, to talking about how to draw these scooters, so they will look really nicely, properly drawn. So it's kind of like in a like a certain way they're they're even more complicated than motorcycles. At least for me at this stage, they have some specific moments in the scooters. So I want like a little more prepare and make very cool tutorial about scooters. Also, like drawing people riding bicycle is more hard than draw people riding motorcycle, because on a bicycle you have these pedals, so it's like you have always you have a leg on a two different position. Yeah. So you can make like two syringe, like one with a light ink and one like more water, less ink, and other with like more ink, less water, because yeah, it's better to have light and dark gray. It's better, and it's actually like kind of all you need is just this light and dark gray. Так. So it's here. And here, let's see. Here's a truck. So you better look around when you're driving. Так. And here is like a zebra on the road. madness. He used to call it madness.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Oh, sure. Yeah, see you later, Ninjak. Yeah, have a good day too. What an interesting sound outside. Check. It's kind of weird here. It's like alarm. So have guy with some boots here. And here will be like, let's say, a piston here. Also for channel members I have cool smiley, like cool smiles for a chat. Like super chat. Dun, 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 dun. clear here. Так. Here's some. I also like this kind of lines here, kind of give some dynamic. So here we have like pedestrian walk, maybe some people standing. Longer kind of zebra crossing here. Zebra crossing. Some other cars. Here will be some cyberpunk building. Let's do look. Marker already dry. Whoa. Так, let's also put some ink. Так, and let's try. Yeah, let's try this one. So now we have opposite. So let's do like this. So we have like this like zenith. So it's like y-axis on the top and z-axis here, and horizon line like this, curved this way. And I have tutorial about this, also explaining how this fisheye perspective works. So you can watch, and there have like complete detailed explanation, and there's couple videos about fisheye where I demonstrate in different scenarios like how to use this perspective. Так, and here we have X. And Y. Так, so now let's see. We can do this like this kind of wheel, front wheel, then rear wheel somewhere here. So make it like Akira kind of. Let's make it double here. fork. Have this handlebar, this mirror. Here will be hand. So, like, practice and knowing this construction of stuff really give you ability to just to build any object in any scenario, in any kind of perspective, in any kind of angle, so you are not depend on reference. Reference for you must be as a way to find some interesting nuances, to kind of enrich your work with some specific details, not to help you with your kind of lack of skill, kind of with your gaps in essential knowledge. So kind of this. And here same we have on the ground, we have this, can use this grid to draw some like dynamic lines. Так. And here. Oh, well, let's again make like wheelie. Have this motorcycle here and a body kind of here, and then I do fork, rear fork, this kind of shield here, and this will be like footrest. Here I can make again like here like exhaust pipe. Here's a rear fork, this frame. Second exhaust pipe. Here can be like suspension. It's cannot see much detail here anyway. Can make more black, thick. Say, like in Akira, put some funny geometry here. have mirror. Так. Yeah. So let's also some dust here, like, or smoke. And here can make some more cyberpunk kind of stuff. And again, you see, like, I have some stuff can draw here, and just like exercise, and also just in a fun mode, not too serious, right? So I think like, oh, let me try draw some cyberpunk stuff here, some kind of there's some bridges, some buildings, and this really good practice, really good exercise. It's this kind of rope and jumping kind of stuff. It's kind of Arasaka. Arigatou gozaimasu. Так, so here. Так. And this kind of like you see many people don't do, many students kind of enjoying themselves, feeling like they can draw this, like say, yeah, I can draw this kind of stuff. But being able to draw this and regularly draw this is very different thing. Like if you're, yeah, you already can draw this kind of stuff, like curvilinear perspective, some cyberpunk kind of boxes, building like boxes in perspective. But if you will regularly do it, you will always become like better and better at it. It will be like improve your neural network, because this work like this rope jumping practice, which like for beginner you will never convince kind of him like this is very important, right? But because it's a gym setting, nobody ask opinion. You just do what coach tell you to do, right? And you do it like every day or like regularly, like maybe 3 times a week or every day, depending how often you training. So maybe here's some flying stuff. Так. Can draw some of them. Sound effect. Look, I don't have marker anymore for this. Okay. Perfect. So perfectly to finish this for sketch and my marker dice. Here, this marker served well, and his name will be like in eternity with us. Brave and strong marker. Так, let's do some shading. So again, remind like guys, if you have upper kind of ability to support my channel, like you can support on a Patreon or became member. It's just like $3 every month, and so then you also can join Discord channel, show your work, like a chat about stuff. Also I have a Gumroad with different tutorials. You can find link to Gumroad. I have like tutorials about like city sketching, urban sketching, coloring, like how to make a color with watercolor, how to make color with watercolor stuff. Yeah. Also, like, yeah, if you not kind of cannot afford right now, like, or don't want kind of share money for support, just write comments or share tutorial in social media or somewhere. Tell your friends, kind of like this. It helps algorithm. It helps like Google to show it to more other people. To show these tutorials. Something like this. So yeah, and you see this kind of approach, right? You can do whatever you want. You can make much more details. You can take like fine liner, and you can draw like more narrow lines and draw more elements, draw more nuances, more details here. You can take watercolor. You can make it bigger size. All steps I show you will be same. All steps will be the same. And if you see some, it's like, oh, it's too complex, it's like how to draw motorcycle, I don't know, go and watch my previous tutorials about motorcycles, because there I give a lot of very important essentials about construction of like motorcycle frame, like different type of motorcycle. Then I have tutorials about perspective grids, like how to draw like standard perspective grids, how to draw perspective grids with this fisheye curvilinear perspective. And if you will follow my advice and you will practice each of these skill, like, you know, just draw a bunch of perspective grids just to oh, I have Zelda here, just to kind of develop your neural network, so you will be more and more confident with drawing perspective grids, with drawing 3D objects in perspective. Don't be lazy, and don't worry. You even might think it's a madness, right? You think like, oh, it's so much stuff, it's too much. But I will say,
madness. This is Jane Bond art.
so see you on the next tutorials.